Hello. If you are struggling to find the time for you, to find the time for your life, then stay tuned for this video because I'm going to share 3 ways that you can make you the priority in your life by finding more time in your day. So let's just hop in. Let me introduce myself first. I am Sharon Davis from Sharon.Coach. I am a transformation coach and I help people create the life they want, get clear about their dreams, get clear about their goals, and then take action steps to make those things a priority in their lives. So let's hop in. Let's talk about the first way that you can begin to create the life that you love. So I learned this tip from a book the name of the book is The One Thing. I do not recall the author at the moment, but he talks about what is the one thing that you can do today that will make everything else easier. So just pause and think about that. You're planning your day or you're not planning your day, but while you're in bed, think about it. What's the one thing? If I get this done, then everything else will be easier. And I'm going to give you an even bonus. When you think about planning your quarter or your year, the next 12 months, the next 3 months, when you think about that, ask yourself, what's the one thing if I accomplish, I'm going to be thrilled about? What's that one thing that if I do it, I am going to be so happy that it's going to make other things easier or everything more exciting? So once you start to build that foundation about what it is that I want, and a lot of times when it says one thing, that one thing, when you're talking about a 12-month period, a lot of times it's several things. So I keep thinking, I've been saying for years, it's on my bubble list. I don't call it a bucket list. I call it a bubble list because I like bubbles and circles. And so on my bubble list is to see giraffes in their natural habitat. So this year in 2024, if I'm able to go see some giraffes, this is a very special year to me. If I'm able to go see some giraffes in Kenya, I will be thrilled. And I accept the fact that maybe it might take till 2025, so I might just have to go to the Canyon Ranch in Florida to see them there. But I know that is my dream, is to go see that, and if I see that, I'm going to feel really great. But then the question is, what's the one thing that is going to help me get to that one thing? And to make that all possible, I'm going to need to make a little bit more money and also promote and move forward with my business so that I have enough time and energy to be able to make all of that happen. I can't work that 9 to 5 job and have off that flexible time to go away and see giraffes. I love giraffes. So let's talk about the second task, or really the second thing that you can do. The second way is to delegate 2 things. Think of 2 things to delegate or to delete that you really don't have to do. And sometimes you can, like I said, you can delegate it to someone else, and you need to really think, do I really need to do this, or is it something that I think that I need to do? And sometimes, depending if you're in a passion moment, like you're creative or you're doing something that you really love, it might mean that instead of washing the dishes at 5 o'clock, you might need to wash them later. It might mean that you're going to take an extra hour that day to do something else that you really want to love, that you really love. So delegate it. Look at your list or think about it in your head. Do I need to do this? Can someone else do it? And an even better question, what will happen if I don't do this at all? And so think of 2 things for that day, or sometimes it's for that week, that you can delegate or delete. And the third way that you really want to think about is what I call a 3-minute rule. And it can change. You can make it whatever you need it to be. If anything I can do in 3 minutes, I try to just do it. I used to be a mail piler, so I get them. When I was young, I loved to get the mail. I don't know, it was like the big thing. We didn't have email. I loved to get mail. Even in my 20s, I loved to get the mail. I cannot stand it now. So when I get the mail, I go into denial and I would just put it in a pile, put it in a pile. And I finally had to say to myself, 3-minute rule. If it takes me 3 minutes to do something, just do it then. And so now I either shred or I take it over to where I can recycle it. I take that next step, take the envelope out because it's under 3 minutes. I also do that in the morning when I want to, I clean my bathroom every morning and it's less than 3 minutes. I think it takes less than 1 minute to wipe the toilet down, to swish it around, every day to do that. So it's not a big chore later on in the week. So if there's something that'll take you 3 minutes, you might want to just do it now. And your 3 minutes may change. And I just started a new challenge, doing squats and some tummy exercises, and I started with 3 minutes. But I just upped it to 5 minutes. So in general, I'm generally between a 5 and 8 minute person. When I want to start something new, I just say I'm gonna do it for 5 minutes. Let's get it to 8, and let's see how it progresses. But I'm about even at a 5 minute rule. If it takes me 5 minutes to do it, my life is flexible enough that if it takes me 5 minutes to do something, I'll do it. So let's think about this again. The first way is think about that one thing that you can do that day that will make everything else easier. And a lot of times, if you schedule that at the beginning of the day, if you're going to work or you're starting to work, if you can do it at the beginning of the day, it makes it easier. Or you can give yourself some type of reward or consequence that's more enjoyable afterwards so that it gets completed. Recently, I've had to make a lot of phone calls for my father and dealing with medical appointments, and it drains me. So I usually do it around noon because it's the first part of my day is over, and right before I eat my lunch, I'll make these phone calls because something I'm about to get on with a client, and I know that's going to bring me up and getting ready for that. So, you can sandwich things as well, but think about that one thing. And sometimes it does take a little while for that to start working. It may not work right away, and you may need to think globally, what's the one thing that I could do this year that will make everything easier? And usually you might come up with 4 or 5 things for different areas of your life and focus on that. And again, the second one is to find 2 things to delete or to delegate. And for some of us, that is so tricky because we think that we need to do it all, or we think someone may not do it the way we think it should be done, or society has placed a lot of pressure on a lot of us to feel like we are the ones that are supposed to do it. There's this whole concept of rugged individualism that is just causing a lot of weight and heaviness on a lot of us. Let that go, delegate or delete. And we know we can't do it for everything, but get in the practice of doing that. You'll be surprised how many things that you can get off your schedule and find more time for you by delegating and deleting. And then the next one is pick your own rule. Like I said, a 3 minute rule is very common. If it takes 3 minutes, then just do it. Just do it then, and you will be surprised how when you're ready to do things for you that you have more time. But the most important thing is to commit to creating time for yourself. And what I suggest is get your calendar out. If you don't have a calendar, consider getting one. If you have an Alexa or something, tell it to Alexa to set a reminder. Start out with once a week with 1 or 2 hours and just say, this is my time. I remember years ago, I had to start with just 1 to 2 hours, and I called it my heart work, and that's where I would focus on my personal growth. It was 2 hours. I was working with a client once, and we would meet Sunday mornings, 7 o'clock in the morning, and she would literally be hiding in a closet so that her kids could not find her if they all of a sudden had an emergency. So, we have to find ways to create time in our life. And one thing we could do is kind of start eliminating. That's one thing. And the other thing is really focus on what is important in that moment. Stop putting the fires out and getting into routines that will help. The 3 minute rule will really stop the paperwork from piling up, right? It'll stop the bathroom from looking a little worse than it would have been. Also, I like food. I actually enjoy cooking, but I do not enjoy cleaning up all of the dishes, the pots and pans after cooking. So I'm getting really good at reclaiming my time and energy by doing a lot of one um, pot or one pan meals. I want to enjoy salads and just throw some things in a salad, but I don't like salads. So if you're able to just combine foods instead of cooking foods, that's even great too. You deserve time. And in order to have time for yourself, it may feel like you're taking time from someone else, but you're really not. The whole thing about the oxygen is true. So when you're on a plane, they say give yourself the oxygen first before you help others. By giving yourself your time and starting to appreciate and value yourself, other people will value you. Some may not, they'll fall away. But then you will still have the fortitude, the energy. You will understand yourself better and have more energy to be who you are and to bring more light and energy into what it is that you want to create in this world, like why you're here. And so it's all about living intentionally, reclaiming our time, reclaiming our energy, and remember the one thing. Remember the to delegate and to delete, and remember the 3-minute rule. And I'll be back with more tips. Let's make the rest of our lives the best of our lives. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back with another tip, or I'll be back sharing space with some great people who are transforming their lives. So stay tuned, and I'll be back. Bye bye.